Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back. We will be doing gentle yoga again tonight. I'm Jennifer, I'm the owner of Auburn Yoga and Pilates. We're going to do a back body focused practice. If you have a belt or some blocks, please grab them and we'll get started. So you want to find a comfortable seated position. If it helps you to elevate your hips, please do. You want to get your spine really tall and lift up through the top of your head as you're simultaneously rooting down through your sitting bones. So sometimes you need to do a little sway from side to side to connect with those sitting bones. But feeling really grounded through your seat and tall through the top of your head. Now, if you're not comfortable sitting here as far as your knees, you could place blocks or blankets underneath those knees if necessary. And then you're going to inhale through your nose, all the air you can fit. And exhale slowly out your mouth. Try that again, inhaling through your nose. All the air you can fit. Exhaling slowly out your mouth. And then inhaling through your nose, all the air you can fit. Exhaling slowly out your mouth. And then if you can, changing it to a more traditional yoga breath, which is in through the nose and out through the nose. So the yogis believe that we can take in just the right amount of air by breathing through our nose, and that our nose has those natural filters. As you inhale, you want to feel your chest come out a little, your belly come out a little. And then as you exhale, feeling your chest and your belly move a little closer to your back body. Trying to make your breath fluid, trying to make your breath deep. And then, once you feel pretty comfortable with that breathing pattern, try to bring your attention to what you would like to manifest into your day today. Maybe it's time. Maybe there just aren't enough hours in your day today. Maybe it's calm if you've had a very hectic day. Maybe you need to calm yourself. Or maybe you just need to ground yourself. That you feel like you're a little bit scattered, maybe all over the place, and that you want to ground and focus. Or maybe something else. Try to take this opportunity to listen to your inner voice and see what it's saying. Once you decide on something, then closing your eyes and trying to create a picture of what it looks like if you have it. What's the scene if you're more grounded? Or if you're calmer? Or if you've managed to carve out some time to do something that you either really want or really need to do. Make sure you see yourself in that picture. Literally see yourself being exactly what you wanted to manifest into your day. And then don't stop at what you see. Add more detail, get those other senses involved. What do you hear? What do you smell? What do you feel? Is there sunshine on your face? Is there a breeze through your hair? And really feeling like you already have what you just asked the universe to deliver. And then just staying in this place for about 2 minutes. And deepening your breath, bringing yourself back to the room. Switching across your legs and circling your spine. Waking up those energy centers in your back. So while we won't just be doing poses for our back body today, most of the poses that we will do will focus on the back body. Switch direction. let's make this the last go round. And then we're going to come into something that may be a strange camera angle. I thought about this for a little while before I started. I couldn't figure out how to best position the camera without moving it around during the class. So I'm thinking that for the couple poses that I'm going to spin around for, you'll be okay. What you want to do is you want to position yourself near a wall in your home. And you don't need the whole wall free if there are, pictures up higher, or that's fine. But you want to be able to place your feet at the molding of your wall. So you're basically going to come into a supine position. You may want to rearrange your mat. So that I can minimize the rearranging, I'm just going to put my blanket down. And you're going to plant the bottom of your feet flat to the wall. Now, if you have a very tight back, this may be challenging for you. You may need to take your feet up the molding a little bit. But if you're able to, the back of your heel is on the floor and your toes and your knees are upward facing. Now, if possible, and this is not going to be possible for everybody, see if you can bring those big toe mounds together with a little bit of space between your heel. And activate those legs, just like you were standing. So while your legs don't technically have to do much work because we're supine, you want to try to create that same energy that you would have if you were standing. Now notice your hips. They should be neutral. They're not spilling back. They're not tipping forward. This should be a little natural space at your lumbar spine, between your lumbar spine and the floor. And your waist should be symmetrical. Keeping everything that I just said. Take your right knee into your chest. Now sometimes that right hip wants to come up to the right shoulder. Try not to allow it to. And then take that strap, place it around the ball of the foot, and come into a supine hamstring stretch. Now, your left foot should still be enthusiastically pressing into the wall. That right hip may have inadvertently tried to take the escape route, which is a little easier, and maybe pop up a little bit toward that shoulder. If you feel like the right waist has shortened, that it's scrunched a little bit, take your right sitting bone and move it towards your left arch, the arch of your foot. Now, press that lower foot into the wall, lengthening that leg, and press that upper foot into the strap, lengthening that leg. So you've got two nice long lines of energy here. And then bending that knee and taking that foot back to the wall. If you can't, bring those big toe mounds together. And see if your right side feels any differently than your left side. Hopefully already, even with this first back body stretch, you feel a little less congested. You may almost feel taller on the right side. Of course you're not taller, but sometimes just that stretch makes you feel a little less compressed or congested. Now taking that left knee into your chest, taking that strap and placing it around the ball of your foot, enthusiastically press that right foot into the wall as you press the ball of the left foot into the strap. So be precise about where the strap is placed. If the strap is in the middle of the foot, it's not going to do you as much good because the center of your foot is not going to be able to press into the strap with the same enthusiasm that the ball of the foot can. So make sure that it's placed at the ball of the foot and then press the ball of the foot into the strap and the strap into the ball of the foot. Try to direct your left pinky toe. So this actually may be a good camera angle for that. You can see that my left pinky toe was lifting a little. You want to direct that left pinky toe towards your belly button. Trying to place the bottom of the left foot so that it's parallel to the ceiling. Couple more breaths, enthusiastically pressing through both legs. Right foot presses into the wall, left foot presses into the strap. And then removing that strap, taking that knee down, taking that left leg to the wall, and hopefully feeling a little bit more symmetrical. And then taking both knees into your chest, rolling over to one side, using that arm to lift you up, and coming into an all fours position. Lining up your wrist creases so that they're parallel to the short end of the mat. Spill your pelvis toward the floor. And then lift your abdominals toward the ceiling, arching your back. Move between cat and cow. Holding a neutral spine, bringing your big toe mounds together and letting those hips fall back toward those heels. You can stretch your arms long. You can drape your arms by your side, or you can use your hands to prop up your head. Allow yourself to be heavy in your hips. And try to find a little bit of a stretch through that sacral area. That little triangular flat spot at the base of your spine, known as your sacrum. And then from here, coming into a little flow. So we'll go from child up to an all fours position. Now from here, you have a choice. One flow is to take your hands forward, coming into a puppy dog pose, taking your hands in, and coming back to child. The other option is to come forward into an all fours position and then curl those toes and knees under and lift up to downward facing dog. Holding here and then dropping down and pressing back. So either way, flowing from child up to all fours. Either walk your hands forward for puppy dog, or curl your toes under for down dog. Either walk your hands back from puppy dog or drop those knees from down dog. Coming back to child. Continuing whatever flow you choose at your own pace. So you can choose to hold the poses a little longer than I am. Or maybe you make it a slightly quicker pace. You don't want to make it too speedy. But it's certainly possible that you prefer a little quicker pace than I'm using right now. Eventually, finding child's pose. From here, taking those arms forward, coming up into an all-fours position. Now, if you have trouble simply stepping a foot forward, you may want to grab a block, and you can use books instead, if you'd like, or boxes, to give yourself some additional height. Step one leg forward. Curl the back toe under, lift the knee. Step the other leg forward. Coming in to that forward fold. You can rest your hands on blocks if resting them on the floor is a little too much. Inhale, heart forward, head forward. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale. Sweep those arms up. Exhale those arms down and holding yourself in a mountain pose. Rooting down through those feet and really standing nice and tall. Externally rotating those shoulders, letting those palms open to the front. And then coming into a little modified sun salutation. Inhaling those arms up, exhaling those arms down, inhaling, heart forward, head forward, exhale, fold forward, inhale, sweep those arms up, exhale those arms down. Going through a few of these, so big inhale, lift, and then next time holding it up in a mountain pose. Rooting down through those feet. So you're going to turn and make your way back to a wall. In my case, I'm going to step over to, I have this post over here that I'm going to use as a wall, just so again you can get the perspective of the camera angle. A wall is definitely better if you have one. Now, you want to take your hands basically so that the heel of your hand is right here at your hip flexor. So this is the height of your hands that you want. And you want to step really close to the wall. Place your hands on the wall at that height and then step back. Now, you want to get to a place where your heels are under your hips and your spine is fairly parallel to the floor. Now, this is a lot more challenging than you would think that it would be. So, ways of modifying it is to make it larger than a 90-degree angle. So, if you cannot bring your spine parallel to the floor, you can come up a bit. You can also step your feet back if necessary, a little bit. You want a micro bend in your knee. However, you may realistically want more than a micro bend in your knee if you find that, wow, my hamstrings are tighter than I thought. Or it's just difficult for you to lengthen your spine in this position. Holding here for just a breath or two. And then walking those hands up your wall, coming into a standing position. So hopefully you did feel a big back body opening there. All right, coming into another pose now. So again, we're sort of wall focused today. The wall is really good at helping us to open up our back body. So you want to stand, I'm actually at the right camera angle now, with your back to the wall. And you want to make sure that you're on a non-slippery surface. So if you have a yoga mat, try to adjust it. Or if you have grippy socks or something like that will prevent you from sliding. So we're going to take our right leg back, and I'll mirror you, so I'll take my left leg back, so that your left heel is at the wall, but the left toes are not at the wall. So it's like that back foot, and I know that it's difficult to see, is about at a 45-degree angle. So the heel touches the wall, it makes contact at the intersection of the floor and the wall, but the toes are at a 45-degree angle. Then, that left leg, in your case, is going to come forward, and the front heel draws a line straight to the back heel. Now modified, you can take it more like a railroad track. You can see I just widened my legs. My heels, it's like this heel's on one track, this heel's on another track. That's a modification. If you're able to, take it heel to heel and try to spin this back hip so that it faces straight ahead. Now, from here, you may want to keep your hands on your hips because you really want to focus on, what's going on and you don't want to add anything else. However, there is an option of putting your hands behind you in fists or putting your hands behind you in prayer. So, if you want to choose that option, it's just an option. From here, keep energetically pressing that right heel into the wall. Fold forward, but don't allow your spine to go beyond parallel to the floor. Pull the heads of those shoulders back by engaging the upper back and hopefully finding lengthening in the back of the legs. Now, some people will feel more hamstring in the front leg. Some people will feel through their gastroc, that gastrocnemius, that calf muscle in the back leg, or maybe the hamstring of the back leg coming up. So that was a variation of pyramid. Now, taking that other leg in, and of course, this time we'll step the left leg back. So placing that heel at the back wall, and again, that back foot is at 45 degrees. You have a fairly wide stance from to front foot, but again, not so wide that you're going to go into a split. It really is that triangular type shape. If I were doing this without the wall, my stance would be approximately this wide if you want to gauge. So heel to heel if you can. If not, railroad track it. Optional, hands behind you. If it's too much to think about shoulders, chest, and upper back while you're folding forward, then don't stress. Coming forward. Coming into that variation of pyramid. Again, trying to pull the heads of the shoulders away from the floor, off your chest, root down through your feet as you lift up. And stepping those feet together. Inhaling nice and tall. And exhaling those arms down. Now, stepping out wide on your mat. Feet are parallel to each other. So sometimes the toes want to go out or in. Try to keep your feet perfectly parallel. Hip circles. So, just a little something to make the hips happy, make the back happy. If you've done any of the hip-focused classes, you know why it's so important to try to release tension from those hips. Reverse direction. So it doesn't matter if you feel a little silly. Give those hips a big circle. And really try to make it a circular motion. Sometimes we, make it a D or some other shape. But think about hitting front, side, back, and side as you're making these circles. And then holding it in the center and stepping those feet together, inhaling those arms up, exhaling those arms down, coming into a seated position. So if you feel more comfortable sitting on a blanket, please do. Otherwise, just coming into a seated position. I think I will use a blanket tonight. This is one sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So, perfect example of you have to listen to how your body's feeling today. Given our current, depending on when you're watching this, we're in the middle of the pandemic, so most of us are on a stay-at-home order. I've been doing more walking, and sometimes I feel like that tightens things up a little. So yoga is a perfect complement to it if you've been doing that. So we're going to take our right leg in, and again, I will mirror you. I will take my left leg in. And you're going to allow that other leg to go out a little bit to the side, but you don't have to worry about really going too wide today. Really lift and lengthen through your spine. Trying to keep your lower body fairly still. Let the movement come through your back and twist toward that front leg. So if you don't want to do too big of a twist, you may find that you want to place your hand somewhere on that inside leg, or some of you may feel like you want a little bit more and you want to place the hand against the outside leg. Either way, inhale really tall, exhale into the twist. Still using that deep diaphragmatic breath. And now turning so that you're, as best as possible, squaring your shoulders and your ribs toward the foot of that long leg. Now, it may not be possible to get them perfectly square. You may find that your ribs and your shoulders are still shifting a little bit center. That's okay. You may need a belt or strap. Anything will work. Dish towel. Place it around the ball of your foot and fold forward. Now you're trying to sway your ribs and shoulders to the floor now. And you're trying to align your belly button as close as you can to over your thigh bone. That's so hard though. So you're just bringing it in that direction. Now you may not need a strap. You may be able to grab your foot. If you're really bendy, you can usually grab your wrist. So all different places to really sort of own the stretch. Make it your own. Now, back body, you should feel a stretch through the back. Nothing painful. A stretch through the back of the long leg. Again, not overwhelming. And depending on how you place that opposite leg, you may feel a little stretch through the outer hip and thigh as a bonus. Inhaling, lengthening the spine, exhaling into the fold. And coming up. And then switching sides. So really lengthening that spine, inhaling nice and tall. And we'll start off twisting toward the bent leg. So twisting toward that bent leg. Take the hand on the outside of the leg or the inside of the leg. So really allowing yourself to experience the twist. So sometimes we tense up, we're afraid to go too far. If you feel pain, well, that's why we have it, it protects us. On the other hand, sometimes we just tense up because we tense up. So try to really breathe out the tension in your back. See if you find any more space. And then coming toward that long leg. And again, folding forward over that leg. You can use a strap, you can grab the foot, you can grab your wrist. Folding forward, trying to square your shoulders and your ribs as best as possible to the floor. Inhale really long, exhale into the fold. And then slowly coming up. One more seated stretch. Taking those legs long in front of you. If you can, bringing your big toe mounds together. I often struggle with this one. Pull the pinky toes back. So those legs are very active. And then, again, you can use the strap. You can grab your feet. Those of you who are really flexible in your back body, you can always put an extender, like a block or a book, at the end of your feet and grab hold of that. And if you can't reach your feet, again, The belt does help. Provides a little bit more benefit using a belt than just putting your hands forward, although that is fine. But the benefit that you have from the belt is that you can sort of encourage yourself into the fold. Again, not forcing. And coming up. And coming into a supine position. And bending your legs and planting your feet. Taking your arms out to the side. You can bring them into goalposts, or you can bring them straight out to the side like a T. Your palms are upward facing. Relax your chest. Allow your shoulders to melt into your mat. And then take your right leg, cross it over your left. Lift your hips, swing your hips over to the right. And allow those legs to drop to the left. If it's comfortable for you, you can look to the right. Bringing those legs up, uncrossing, bringing those hips back to center. Switch sides. Lift those hips, swing those hips to the left. Allow those legs to drop over to the right and look to the left. So just releasing the back, releasing the chest. Bring those legs back to center. Uncross, bring those hips back to center. And bring yourself into a place for final relaxation. So we do stay in final relaxation a couple minutes. If you'd like a longer final relaxation, feel free to put me on pause. If your back is still tight, you can always place a rolled blanket under your knees. Palms are ideally upward facing, again, just to facilitate that opening through the chest. Exhale, relax into the floor. Talking about being grounded. The entire back body grounding. Relax your legs, relax your hips. Relax your belly, relax your back. Relax your shoulders, your chest, your arms all the way down into your wrists and fingers. Relax your jaw. Smooth the creases in your face. And eventually, starting to bring movement back to your body, wiggling your toes, wiggling your ankles, wiggling your wrists and your fingers, and then eventually bending your legs and planting your feet. And then eventually rolling to one side, lifting up into a seated position. Sitting nice and tall, grounding down through those sitting bones. The light within me salutes the light within you. Namaste. Thanks for tuning in. We hope that you enjoyed it, and we hope to see you again soon, virtually, and then hopefully in person before we know it. Take care, stay healthy.